A very good morning, my dear students. Welcome back to Physical Science online class. Our fourth chapter name is Refraction of Light at Curved Surfaces. Refraction means what? Bending of light ray, or the light ray passes one medium to another medium. Direction will be changed, that is called the refraction. Today we will discuss about behavior of certain light rays when they are incident on a lens. The behavior of a light ray when it passes through a lens can be understood by observing its behavior in the following situations. The points C1, C2 are not center of curvatures. They are the points at too small of distance from optic center. Situation 1. For convex lens, ray passing through the principal axis, it is not deviated. It is not deviated. It is not deviated means not separated. Situation 2. Ray passing through the optic center. Ray passing through the optic center or principal axis. It is also not deviated. Any ray passing through the optic center is also undeviated. Here, principal axis means the horizontal ray passes through the optic center or point, midpoint, that is called the principal axis. Situation 2 for convex lens, ray passing through pole. Pole means midpoint of the perpendicular line or horizontal line. It is also undeviated. Any ray passing through the optic center is also undeviated. Situation 2 for concave lens, ray passing through pole. It is also undeviated. Here we can take the two types of lenses, concave lens and convex lens. Then one lens is the converging lens, another lens is the diverging lens. Then next situation, rays traveling parallel to the principal axis. They converged at a focus. We know that the rays passing parallel to the principal axis converged at the focus or appeared to diverge from the focus. Here we can take the all rays parallel to the principal axis. Then that light rays passing one medium to another medium after bending of light ray, that is the F1. Then that is the refraction. All rays meet at a point, that is called the focus. Then here we taking the rays traveling to the principal axis, they are converged at a point. Hence convex lens is also called converged lens. Situation 3 for concave lens. Situation 3 for concave lens, rays traveling to the principal axis. Rays traveling to the principal axis. As it is, here we taking the diverged lens. After all rays parallel to the principal axis, they are passing one medium to another medium. That is diverged lens. That is why all rays are passing backward direction. That is the concave lens, rays traveling to the principal axis, they diverged from the focus. Hence, concave lens is also called diverged lens. Situation 4 for convex lens, rays passing through the focus. Rays passing through focus. it will take a path parallel to the principal axis after refraction. Here we taking the one principal axis. C1, C2 are center of curvatures. F1, F2 are two sides of focal points. Here, light rays obey the principle of least time. Hence, the ray passing through the focus will take a path parallel to the principal axis after refraction. After refraction, we can take the all rays at a point. After refraction, refraction means the light ray passes one medium to another medium. After refraction, there will be parallel to the principal axis. Situation 4 for concave lens. Ray passing through focus, it will take path parallel to the principal axis after refraction. Listen carefully. Here we taking the diverged lens. That means all rays separated. All rays separated. Then here we taking the all rays meet at a point. Then after refraction, all rays coming backward direction. That is the concave lens ray passing through focus. It will take path parallel to the principal axis after refraction. Situation 5 for convex lens. Parallel rays fall on a lens making some angle with axis. They converge at a point of focus. When parallel rays making an angle with the principal axis fall on a lens, the rays converged at a point or appear to diverge from a point laying on the focal plane. Focal plane is a plane perpendicular to the principal axis at the focus. Here we draw the imaginary line, that is called the paraxial line, which are nearby the principal axis. We draw the imaginary line, that is called the paraxial line. Here, two types of paraxial lines. They diverge from a point laying on a focal plane. Here, first one is the diverging lens. Diverging lens. Here we taking the diverging lens, that means concave lens. Nearby the principal axis, two imaginary lines, that is the paraxial lines. Then we draw the paraxial lines. One ray passes to the principal axis. Remaining rays are refraction after coming backward direction. This is the behavior of concave lens. They diverge from the point laying on a focal plane. This is important 4 marks question. Next topic, rules. A ray of light parallel to the principal axis passes through the principal focus in case of convex lens or appears to diverge from the principal focus in a case of concave lens. A ray of light that passes through the focus and strikes the lens finally passes being parallel to the principal axis. A ray of light passing through the optic center does not deviate. Rule 1. A ray of light parallel to the principal axis passes through the principal focus in case of convex lens or appears to diverge from the principal focus in a case of concave lens. Rule 2. A ray of light that passes through the focus and strikes the lens finally passes being parallel to the principal axis. Rules to draw ray diagram for spherical lenses. Rule 1. A ray of light through the optic center of the lens O passes undeviated through the lens. Rule 2. A ray of light parallel to the principal axis passes through focus when it leaves the lens. Rule 3. A ray of light through F leaves the lens parallel to the principal axis. Image formation, convex lens. Rules to draw ray diagrams for image formation by lenses. Let us learn a few basic rules to draw ray diagrams to locate the position of images. For drawing a ray diagram to find position and size of the image formed by lens for any position of object at infinity. The rays falling on the lens from an object at infinity are parallel to the principal axis. They converge to the focal point, so a point-sized image is formed at the focal point. Listen carefully. We can take the object at infinity distance. We can find out the image at focus, that is pointed object. That is the first rule of the object and image position and size of the object. For example, at last far away distance of object, we can see that at pointed object, that is the one of the example of object at infinity. Second one, object beyond the center of curvature. Object placed beyond the center of curvature on the principal axis. When object is placed beyond the center of curvature, the real inverted and diminished image is formed on the principal axis between points focus and center of curvature. Listen carefully. We can take the object beyond the center of curvature, and that means before of the center of curvature. We can find out the image in between focus and center of curvature. We have chosen two rays. One ray passing parallel to the principal axis and another ray passing through optic center to locate the position of image. Next rule, object placed at center of curvature. When an object is placed at the center of curvature on the principal axis, you will get an image at center of curvature, which is real, inverted, and of the same size as that object. Here object is AB, image is A dash B dash. We can take the object at center of curvature. Then we find out the image also center of curvature. Here also we have chosen two rays, one ray passing parallel to the principal axis and another ray passing through the optic center to locate the position of the image. Next rule, object placed between the center of curvature and focal point. Object between center of curvature and focal point. When an object is placed between center of curvature and focus, you will get an image which is real, inverted and magnified. Magnified means large one. The image will form beyond center of curvature. Fifth rule, object located at the focal point. When an object is placed at focus, the image will be at infinity. This is similar to the first case, object at infinity. When the image is formed at infinity distance away, we cannot discuss the size and nature of the image. Next case, very different case, object between focal point and optic center. If we place an object between focus and optic center, we will get an image which is virtual, erect and magnified. From the ray diagram, you will notice that the image formed is a virtual, erect and is formed on the same side of the lens. Where the object is placed, the size of the image is larger than that of the object. It is magnified image. In this situation of the image formation, we understand two things. As the image formed is virtual, we can see it with our eyes. In all other cases, the image is real, which we can't see with our eyes but can be viewed if the image is captured on the screen. A magnified virtual image is formed on the same side of the lens where the object is placed. Thus, the image you are seeing through a lens is not real. It is a virtual image of the object. This is particular behavior of convex lens helps to construct a microscope which gives a magnified image. Now see the total image formations, situations, rules in a tabular form. Position of the object, position of the image, relative size of the image, nature of the image. Object at infinity, we can find out the image also focus, size highly diminished, real and inverted. Beyond the center of curvature object, we can find out the image between focus and center of curvature, that is diminished, real and inverted. Object at C, that means center of curvature. We can find out the image also center of curvature, same size, real and inverted. We can take the object between C and focus. Then find out the image beyond the center of curvature, enlarged, real and inverted. At focus, no image formation. Then last one, between focus and optic center on same side as object, enlarged, virtual and erect image formation. This is very important question for 4 marks. Lens formula and magnification. In the previous concepts, we have learned a formula for spherical mirrors and we also have formula for spherical mirrors. This formula gives the relationship between object distance, image distance and the focal length. Object distance is u, image distance is v, then focal length is small f. The lens formula is expressed as 1 by v minus 1 by u equal to 1 by f. Lens formula given the solution for the object, places and image situations. The magnification product by a lens similar to for spherical mirrors. It is represented by the letter small m if h is the height of the object and h dash is the height of the image given by a lens. Then the magnification produced by the lens is given by small m equal height of the image by height of the object, that equal h dash by h. Magnification produced by a lens is also related to the object distance and image distance. This relation is given by h dash by h equal to v by u. Magnification small m equal to v by u or h dash by h. Now last activity, factors determining the focal length of lens. Consider a lens with a focal point f. Take a cylindrical vessel of length almost equal to the 4 times of the focal length of the lens. Here, the height of the vessel should be greater than the focal point of lens. Keep a black stone inside the cylindrical vessel. Pour some water into the vessel up to certain height. Here, the height of the water surface from the top of the stone is somewhat greater than the focal length of lens. Now, with the help of the circular lens holder, dip the lens horizontally. The lens is positioned to the small depth from the surface of the water and just above the stone. Now move the lens in the way that the distance between lens and stone reduces. Continue to do this until the image of the stone appears. This proves that the focal length of lens in water changed and is no more equal to the focal length in air. Thus, it is proved that focal length of lens depends on the surrounding medium in which it is placed. Dear students, I hope all are understand today's topics. Complete your classwork. Send it to my WhatsApp number. Thank you and God bless you all.